Let's have 1 Samuel chapter 30. You know, this is the month of no turning back by faith. And from last week, we began to deal with under, subsection 1. Subsection 1. Under section. Section no turning back by faith. That is section 1. But subsection 1 under that is everyone is redeemable, everybody is liftable. And because subsection 2 today is that discouragement is a choice. Discouragement is a choice. But let me talk briefly about everybody is redeemable, everybody is liftable. We saw it in the life of Job, where Job was saying that my Redeemer lives. And I know at the end of the day, he will stand upon the earth, everybody will see him. That means, even from all these troubles that I go through, I hope you know the troubles of Job. Nobody, I've never seen anybody with the trouble of Job. I had gone through losing wife and losing children. That is like 100.1 over 1,000 of what Job went through. Job had children, he had slaves, he had camels, the Bible mentions everything that he had. And one day, fire will come and burn everything. Only one person will escape and come and say, I only escaped with my life to tell thee. And you think that after he told Job, he stayed. Jesus' life will give you an example of how the Bible says Jesus, God came. All the disciples deserted him because there was no show anymore. So finished. So finished. Somebody was doing miracle, we were doing hard like this. People would jump up and whatever. All of a sudden, they handcuff him. And they say, do something. He said, no, must I not drink the cup that my father has given to me? I say, whoa, we never knew all this while that the person we thought was a savior is a dummy. The Bible says all the disciples left him. The one who made up his mind said, we're going to die for you. I tell you, Jesus. And he was beating his chest. He did it. When he got to the priest's palace, a little girl said, you are one of them. He said, I swear by God, I swear by heaven, I swear by my mother's grave. Like they will say in Allah, he said, by my mother's grave, I swear by my mother's grave, even by my children's head, that I didn't know him. And in case he thought he was joking, I'll say, may thunder strike, may fire burn anybody that knew Jesus by a little girl. That's the reason why every battle is still fightable if you have people around. I'm going to get there today. If you still have people around, but by the time people desert you, people that you trust in, because God asks us not to trust people. I taught you that. You see, on Tuesday or on Sunday, he asks us, but it's the most difficult thing. It's the most difficult thing. A father was teaching the child how not to trust human beings one day, and it was actually a very, it was very scary. I thought that is a lesson taken too far. And the father made the child climb, you've seen it, over the roof of their house. And he said, I'm going to pick you up. Child, jump up, I'm going to pick you up. And the child jumped, and the father left. And the child fell on the ground and said, don't trust anybody. That's a lesson on trust taken too far that I say, a child will naturally trust the father. But when God is saying, don't trust any human being, you don't even know for how long I'm going to live. But it's very hard for human beings not to trust human beings. It's very, somebody begins to behave good to you, begins to behave well to you. They warm themselves into your heart. How will you not trust? You will want to trust. But then there are certain battles in life that even those you trust will distrust you. That such was the problem of Job. You need to go through the book of Job to know how Job could ever get the audacity. Where did he have the temerity? Some of you are not going through any trouble. It's already showing on your face. It's already showing on your face. You're already running away from everybody. You know, your face is already becoming white. Your neck is becoming longer. Your mouth is becoming flatter. The lips are becoming flatter. We can see, because you see, many of the time we are not really fortified to know that there is no day you are not going to be challenged in this life. All great people are passing through challenges on a daily basis, but they have so fortified themselves that they are above the challenges and you cannot know, except they want you to know. Or successful people, or victorious people, or great people are product of challenges, and there is no day challenges are letting go of them. They are the ones who have become masters of challenges. So when Job came to a point, as we were reading last week, and said, I know my Redeemer liveth. From whence are you speaking this? Your bones are sticking out. Sores all over your body. All your closest friends that were wise men, sages, they came around and they began to tell you that you have sinned against God. Stop talking. For the first 7 days, they were not talking anything. They just kept quiet when they saw him. The greatest battle is the battle that those you expect to fight with you turn against you or run away. But Jesus knew it was going to be like that, so he prepared himself. We don't prepare ourselves. But most battles of life are like that, because people cannot fully understand your battle like you. It's like somebody saying, I understand what Senab is going through. No, you really don't actually. You are just giving your own advice based on how you just finished eating a bowl of pounded yam. And I say, you know, as a pregnant woman, you need to be jumping up. Take your leg like this. Take your leg like this. Please get pregnant for 1 month first. And I need to know how it's doing you. I need to know how you do. I've been pregnant before. They say transgenderism is possible. Is that not what they said in the law? So I'm not against the law, I'm for the law. I've been pregnant before. I've felt the pain of pregnancy. I know what it means. And people will not know. I can't walk. Just some pain in my abdomen. It's a thing that I had for many years. And when it comes, I will sit down at the bus stop for 30 minutes. And it doesn't matter what anybody's there looking at me. Why is he just sitting down on the floor? As a matter of fact, I can even roll on the floor. It's only that they didn't know. They didn't know that I was ready to roll on the floor. I was ready to lie down on the floor of the whatever. I'm just sitting down. That's what they see. I could not sit down on the table. It's on the floor. The table is not convenient. I said, dude, get some decorum. Decorum. Do you know what he's going through? So that's the reason why, you know, sometimes when I go through Bible and God opens my eyes to see what this person was going through, and they are still able to say this, I want to learn of their spirit, because that is the spirit of a conqueror. How can Job say my Redeemer lives? You are supposed to have forgotten about a Redeemer. You knew you didn't commit. Job, you knew you didn't commit. You and I knew that you knew. So how could you be going through all this? And you still say, Redeemer. And in Job 14:14, he now said, if a man dies, will he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait until my change comes. In other words, Job was still saying, I am still liftable. I may be covered with sores all over my body, injuries and in ashes now. But I know I am still liftable. I am not going to die. Because let me tell you the truth. Until the mind of a man clicks yes to death and to staying on the same spot, you still have a chance of going up. You still have a chance of living. Many people who die, they have to come to a point where they accepted death and it occurs. Because death is a spirit. It responds to your desire. That is why we get to this point today. We say discouragement is a choice. Things that bring discouragement are not a choice. Things that bring discouragement are not a choice. You can't choose that I'm going to dodge everything that is going to discourage me today. You are not a human being. You are not alive. God himself cannot rely on you except you are a person of strong mind. You'll be eating crumbs. On the basis of the mercies of God, a number of things will be happening to you. Many of the things you are praying to God that he should do for you, he allows some tests to come around to know whether you can withstand the problem that come with that lifting. Oh, somebody just missed out on what I said. That's the reason why you see a Christian 30 years, 40 years after they have become a Christian, and they know the plan and the purposes and the visions of God for their life, but they can only imagine and visualize it afar. It never comes to pass. The reason is that God cannot trust that He will not turn back when the troubles of that lifting comes. When they come. Some of you like to get married. But do you know that marriage is a very terrible thing? It's a place where you have to keep routine and you have to keep it joyfully. It's a place where you are the one leading praise and worship on Sunday, and your husband probably slap you, God forbid. And you cannot come here and just cry and say, oh my God, oh my God. You now be singing song of people who are singing a burial ground. Oh my God. When I also, that's your personal feeling. You can't overwhelm the whole church with your personal feeling. Do you know what it comes to being a president? Trump was almost assassinated yesterday. They shot at him. Blood all over his body. Just campaigning. A 20-year-old, I think he's in Pennsylvania, did that. Do you know how many times they have tried to attempt that it is somebody who stopped them? That's why God told Joshua, be strong and of a good courage. Let me reiterate it before I go on. Discouragement is a choice. Things that bring discouragement are not a choice.